Yeah, I mean that's one thing I would say is that when I looked at the show, like the bikini girls were like outside the first call out, and they were
Mhm.
like anyone who had like almost bikini physique, capped out, overdevelopment in their glutes, or like or if they had tie-ins, they were like immediately out, or like they were in
Yeah.
like the later call outs. So everyone's going to be upset about like Janet, but it's like, listen, she's judged like anybody else in any category. Yes, she's a former bikini Olympia champion, but she's going to be judged like if she was from a different category. For instance, Erin Stern, when she came down from figure to bikini, she was judged like a bikini competitor, even though she is a former
Hey,
Olympian.
yes, and I had the pleasure of placing ahead of her like once, I think, or maybe twice. That's so I was like, yeah. So I mean, I want to say just about Janet. Yes, she's amazing, a bombshell. Even I hadn't been sure like what she'd been working on her physique wise in this downtime she's been with or been having. But when I first saw her, I was like, yeah, she'll be perfect for this. But then after really like looking and going to nationals and then looking at this first show this year, I'm like, no, even Janet's too big, too much muscle,
Yeah.
so there's some stuff we'll get to, but like it was good for me and a bunch of my clients that have asking me stuff about yeah. So I just yeah, I'm happy to see that they stuck to the criteria and their word and stuff about the division. So that
All right. So do you want, where do you want me to start? Do you want to look at like the top six? Do you want to like look at them individually? Do you want to look at like the call outs?
I
How do you
think
want to go
why don't
about
we
this?
watch this? Okay, so we can either go backwards or work backwards or start here. So we can look at everyone's individual routines. If that's something that you have like queued up, if like you could pull up, probably kind of hard to toggle to all six of those, like and find them and stuff. So maybe just a call out first, and then we can kind of break it down from there. What do you think?
Okay, let's see. So fifth place, I wrote down
I
it
don't know if you could like
was
go find it and
Angie.
scrub through. It might be take a second because it's probably not labeled. So
Let me see if I could just go to their page. I think I could find it. Let me
yeah,
see
and you
Angie.
even
I
go and
think
do like a
some of
top
them.
three. Depends how much time you have, but yeah.
See
Really,
Angie.
5 is good though because it shows that call out shows where the fourth and fifth missed by, and it's pretty glaring to me, like what they need to work on. So um, maybe all 5 would be good because the top three are
Okay, let's
similar.
see.
If I remember, at least the top 2.
Do they have it on? Let me see. BTS put it up.
Here, I can go
But
look.
I can find. But I would have to
That
go
might
through.
be
Like
helpful.
I wrote down their numbers so I know
We can
what order
definitely
they
look
went
at
up
least
in.
at Emily's and Janet's, too.
Let's see. It didn't get Angie, but I could find Angie on here. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go to Angie was number 31. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, so this is someone
I have the
previous. So
DC,
let's go.
so if that helps.
Here we go.
Okay. Here, let me. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna pull my 2 screens up just in case. I got 2 monitors going. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, move glasses better. Sorry.
Do you want me to pause in the front? Do you want me to pause in the back?
You can start
Or just
here.
let her do her whole routine? All right.
Now let's just probably watch the whole thing, I think. Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. Can you start that entry over one more time? Gracias.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So I like her hair. I like her makeup. Her suits. I like the suit, how it contrasts with her hair, and how it also works well with her. Because she did pink before.
Oh, yeah,
I
let me do
did
that.
see like when she was just as an individual, like doing blue, which I wouldn't mind her doing that, like royal blue suit. But this is actually really good on her. It works well with her skin tone. Um, in her front, I feel like what I'm looking at is. Go ahead.
I was just saying, can you make it a little bigger at all? Is that possible? Like maybe do the
Okay.
full screen?
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, cool.
This is full screen. Okay. But I
Okay.
feel
There,
like when I'm
sweet.
looking at in her front, I feel like maybe she could adjust a little bit in her like her arm a bit, but also I feel like she just needs a little more legs from the front just to like match up to her lower body, because I think she's more top heavy than bottom. But from the back, she's pretty solid. I can show you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the back, and then I'll give you my 2 cents on the coloring too. Okay. Got a little glute
Okay.
dropped on the way back there. Um, let's go back to the front.
Wait, let me play that.
And she was,
Yeah.
which was she? Was she fifth?
Yeah, she was fifth.
Okay. All right. So here we go. This is literally how crazy I am. So I'm going to start. It's beautiful. First of all, she's beautiful. Okay. Stunning. She's perfect for this division. Honestly, don't change, girl. This is amazing. When she came out, she had my attention, but the confidence in the walk was lacking because it was a little timid. All right. So that's just me taking that. When this is something I'm crazy about as far as when I'm teaching posing, because that's what I do full time. Less steps is more. So there's a couple things I want to say. This is honestly like I'm shooting like the messenger like myself right now because I did this year where I missed the box. I just want to point out, ladies, always walk up all the way into the box, please, because they're missing the best lighting. The photographer, the stage handlers, everyone takes time to like set that up and test it. Trust me, I'm always there watching. Like, come up into the light. Otherwise, you're going to have some shadows in places you don't really want. So she needs to come more confidently straight to the box. But good look, girl. First show of the year. I've been doing this 12 years. I still okay. But I'm just saying, still, just we want to be confident when we walk out. But then also there are extra steps. That's what I was saying. I'm a little bit crazy about is less is more. She kind of, I always call it like pee dance around to get to this to the pose. I'd rather see her walk up and do and like if I was someone, me or someone could like show her this like you just want to walk plant. There's too much moving around. We had an opportunity to see like the waist, the shape break, all that stuff. The legs, I honestly think she probably doesn't need much more development. And you said she's top heavy. She does look top heavy. And I do teach everyone to hinge and a fold and all that stuff. But here she's leaning over too much and not straightening up the upper body, keeping it relaxed. She's really hunched and kind of looks nervous and hunched over or bent over just a little bit too much. So my biggest thing here would just say, she needs to relax, simplify it just a little bit, get a little bit more confident with it, and then also look at the judges when you walk out. But yes, as far as her structure, I think she probably needs a little bit more shape overall. Like in general, even though it's not a muscle maturity like division that's like a big focus on it or the development, it's the posing. But I think she could work on a little bit more quad shape, a little bit more calf shape, just a little bit more roundness to the shape overall. Because she actually has a small waist. It's just she's kind of her back shoulder is pushing her open too much, so her waist is facing me more than it should. And that back leg is a little soft, so the straighter she could make that, if she locked that thing out, that would pull that waist back real far. So, anyways, I digress. The coloring, I want to say, I think a purple or a blue would be great. This
That's
green,
what I was
I don't know
thinking
if
at
you
first. I mean, like, I think the blue would look
blue,
really
like
good
a
on her.
blurple is
But
what I think, or even like a that kind of magenta color that people will kind of wear sometimes, like a fuchsia, like that is nice, or like a purple, not royal deep purple, but yeah, you're right on that. Or blue, like a nice royal is nice on everybody.
yeah,
I feel like, and the makeup's a little light. That's just me. Not saying I'm always perfect, y'all. Y'all, do as I say, not as I do. But yeah,
yeah. I'm like trying to, when you're saying something, I'm kind of like looking closely more, so
yeah,
I could
I'm in
see
sync.
what you're talking about.
And girls, listen, if you're a little top heavy, don't be wearing all those bracelets. That front hand, it's got like a ton of bracelets on it. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal. But now that arm looks bigger. It looks more prominent. You see what I'm saying? If anything, it should be on the backhand, but really should be nowhere. Maybe just two small ones or not. This is not the one for all this
Yeah.
the bling. Okay, this is less. This is nice, useful, clean. Go ahead, sorry.
All right. So do you want to see you in the back and go for there?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all need to hold this transition a little bit longer than that. That'll give you an opportunity to get stable before you get in that back pose so you don't drop those glutes. Okay. She has got the right conditioning here. I feel like she needs a little bit more roundness in the back, a little bit more fullness, like just a little bit more heart shape kind of coming off. Because we don't want to see, I don't have the mouse, but we don't want to see hip to like knee basically be all one shape. Does that make sense when I say that? We want to have it kind of steal a little
Yeah.
glute and a little leg. She could open up her elbows a little bit here to make her waist look smaller, kind of frame it a little bit more. But overall, I think she's got a great shape. She doesn't need to switch divisions or anything. Just kind of give us a little bit more of what you have and work on the poses. What do you think, John?
Yeah, and I did notice this. I did notice this for some of the girls that a lot of them that were like really good, they had the experience because they were in bikini. They were in
Right.
bikini as an amateur. They were not.
Right.
They were not bikini as a pro, but they were bikini as an amateur. Just when they got to national level shows, they had a
Yeah.
hard time. Like I'd say that
Hey, it's happened to me,
I
man.
think Emily did a USA's. Yeah, yeah. Emily did a USA's before. Gabby's done nationals.
Yes.
I think Angie did a USA's before. But I feel like when I looked at them, I'm not sure about if Jane did any national shows as bikini, but when I look at them, I'm like, they had that experience. So that kind of like got them to there. Cause number one thing I was saying, like a lot of the athletes, they didn't have, this is like, they did shows with less people in it, but now it's like a show with like 40, there's 48, but there was, but wound up being 47. I think one
A
person
lot.
just did not
That look,
show
even
up.
for someone who's been
Yeah.
doing this a long time, whenever I show up to a show like that, I still get a little, you know. I mean, it's definitely going to work your nerves, especially if you're an amateur and fit model, which was a brand new division. Then I hate to say this, but in a way, like a lot of people were kind of not paying attention to or not really taken seriously unless they were women, kind of interested in it or something, or coaches, and you know, promoters, of course, and everything like that. But like, it wasn't something that everyone was like looking at with a microscope, like they are now, because it's like we're here, we're doing it, and now we're gonna really be critical of you, like we're doing, like we're doing. But I mean, that all that pressure, you know, we got to give them a little human element, but also we're here to be judged, so that is what it is. But yeah, I could think that
All right.
definitely will translate to stage if they've got that previous stage experience. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, let's see.
Here's Myra, who got
Okay, you want to
fourth.
get there a little.
And I remember her. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I
So you
remember
remember her?
her because she did the amateur. Yeah, she did the Olympia
Mhm.
amateur. That's when I saw her in person. She took second in the class to the girl that won the class and then wound up winning the overall
Is
swan.
she a different
But
color
she
suit
got her
on?
pro card in Malaysia.
Is
What?
she a different color suit for that for amateur Olympia? I feel like I don't remember seeing her
Let me
in
see.
purple. I think it might have been red or something.
Let me see. I think it's
She
down
looks
here.
familiar. I know I've seen that girl. Yeah, that shape is nuts. That's a great front pose.
You know, I will tell you this: those athletes from Asia, like especially South
Mm-hmm.
Korea, they look
Yeah,
insane.
purple. Okay, well, I just don't recognize her then. I think it's somebody else. Well, she looks great. She's amazing. Let's see.
Was this from the
Nice,
Olympia
girl. That's
amateur?
exactly how I want people hitting that. That's perfect. But let's see her at the Arnold real quick so we can judge that posing. So I don't
You mean the you mean
you don't
Japan?
give number one girl her I don't want to give her a chance. Okay. Okay. I kind of like the way she looked at the Olympia a little bit better. Let's see. I do. I didn't see the back for the other one, but okay.
I like her hair, and I like how everything works well with her. And she's got a small waist. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anything do you? So in her front, do you see anything that stands out?
Well, I didn't in that first video you showed me, but here it looks like she's got a little. She's leaner, conditioning's better, you know. But I don't know if they need it to be quite that much, you know. I don't know, but her legs look like a little bit more prominent, and her upper body looks a little smaller here than it did in that Olympia video at first glance. She just needs to. I love that front pose, but she just needs to be careful with the upper body looking a little bit slight compared to the lower. So she could either, you know, pump them up a little
Yeah,
bit or come forward a little bit more, because it's just the legs are kind of taking over. Her arms look a little tiny right here. They did it in the other video.
that's the thing. Like some of them could. That's the thing of like this division. I feel like the biggest like thing people are going to get called on is they're coming in way too lean, almost like shredded.
Yeah, you can't. But
Like
then I see her back, and I don't know if it's a. Let's see it again. Let's just go to the back one more time because I don't think it's a. It might be a little bit of
do you want me to get
conditioning,
this?
but
I can get the stage shots if it's like
no,
if it's
that's
hard to
okay.
see
We
the
can look at
video.
this in a minute. That's okay. But the back, first off, she's taking a little too long, like a bikini posing right there. We need to get to the front pose. They won't like that at nationals and stuff. So I have comments about that. Okay, here. So it kills me whenever we see transitions and there's a little crease underneath the glutes. Okay, so go back to that little. If you can't, I mean, you're doing the Instagram, so you can't really rewind it. So we'll just let it play back again. But
And the best part is the individuals are like 10 seconds, so
mhm.
they got to the point.
Yeah. So right here, right here. So I know, but that's the ending part. My bad. Well, let's wait till it comes back around. But anyways, whenever we are going from front to back, it's. I mean, I have worked on it too. It's probably going to be a never-ending thing. But we see like you can see her glutes like kind of creasing against her leg there. So keep letting it play if you want, or if you can. So I'm not sure she could have left her glutes up a little higher, push them up real high, and then let me see if she didn't keep that left knee, the one that was kind of on the side, it just straightened it up real hard. So, anyways, we just kind of lost the glute roundness, and then here you kind of see that she's got the glutes, but like we're not arching them enough. We're not kind of presenting them properly, or if she is, then maybe we just do need a lot more glute. But I can tell when she went from the side to the back, we got glutes drop, we got a little skin, and then we kind of pushed them back up. So that's just something like right there. That's pretty. And then she kind of dropped them again. So we're just gonna have to keep on working. She would have to keep on working to keep them up a little bit higher. She can turn that waist a little harder too. So she's pretty.
Yeah, I could see
honestly.
that, but I did kind of look at some of her. I did look at the amateur Olympia. I do think that she has improved her glutes from that time.
Okay.
And then I think it was like a month later she turned pro in Malaysia. So, but this is the Olympia amateur. She got her pro card, but the Olympia amateur in the U.S. This was the one she took second in.
Let's see.
Let me see. I don't think there's anything from the amateur from the one in U.S. There's so that there was the Malaysia. Actually, this is from Las Vegas. Actually, there's so many Olympia amateurs.
Her arms, like look at her arms here compared to that other video. They just look a little bit more developed or something. Let's say fuller. So right there we got a little skin. Yeah. Up, arch that thing, girl. See, that's nice, but you got to get there the whole time. Story of my life. That's a really nice look. Yeah.
This is when she turned pro.
Find that perfect combination to like get the arch going a little bit more in the back pose, keep everything balanced. She's beautiful, for sure. Definitely right.
I know. I could tell you this. I mean, I will say that top four. I think they're born for that. It's people. Yeah. People don't like to hear the word genetics, but I definitely think that those girls, they're just born for that.
It's a massive part of it. People don't like to hear it, but I mean, it's true.
I'm hoping this girl I'm hoping Hey Jean is her name, and she's from South Korea. She was on that team that had 10 girls, and three of those girls placed she placed third, one of them placed 10th, and one of them placed 12th. But a lot of those girls in South Korea, they have beautiful physiques, but I feel like, and I don't know if I'm just being biased, I feel like they get overlooked.
Mm-hmm. And hair and faces and skin and everything. Asians know what's going on. They got it. They got the skincare down too.
You know what I think why, Lauren, that the Asia countries have fit model than any other country, and that's why most of the pros are coming from there, and then why there's more pro shows there. I feel like because you could tell that physique type is built for that, and because of like fashion and stuff, they're not trying to be too big. They're not trying to be too massive. Like, have you been to Asia? Have you been to any Asia countries before?
It's one of my life dreams too, though, and it is culturally like I know that even I would be like huge, compared to a lot of women. Okay, this is beautiful. I remember seeing her. She's really stood out to me. Let's see if we can.
I can pull her up. She's number 9. I can get her on the live. So
yeah, take your time.
Okay, individuals. So she was one of the early ones up, and that's the thing. Like when you're the first one up out of like a large class, what's the biggest class you've been in a pro show?
52.
Yeah, 52.
Yeah.
What show was that?
Honestly, I don't remember which one it was, but it was either the Clash of 2020 or Tampa Pro of 2020. I don't remember which one it was, but it was nuts. I just remember and the rest of the year was like 48, 42, 51, 50, so 52 was like the biggest one,
And you have to be the first one up.
For second, I think, and I had to go out and stand there the whole time. I remember for one of them, I had to wait for all the routines to finish, and it was all of us. It was crazy.
That's hard. That is so hard to do. But okay, I'll show you. So, all right, here we go. I will tell you this. This girl got third call out, but I did see her feedback. And this girl stood out to me. I had her in the top 10. I had her. Yeah. This is before the girl that got third, but I will tell you this. That structure, this physique, like I said, that she's from South Korea. Her name is Seojin Cheong. I'll tell you this. She did get third call out. She just had to fix her posing and just come just a little more from what I got, what she talked to Sandy backstage. And I think if she does those posing adjustments within a month, she'll go to Taiwan. She'll definitely be a contender to win the show. But like I said, when I look at all these girls, I'm like, man, it's just posing tweaks. It's just a couple things they need to fix. They don't need to be too hard. They don't need to be too lean. That's why I feel like this division is built for that, for
right.
like
And like looking
South
at her,
Korea, Japan. Yeah.
she doesn't have to do much at all, like you're saying. You're right. She needs to come a little tighter. The hair and the suit combo is not great as far as like winning.
I would have said like a blue suit would have looked good. That's where she turned pro in. I would have done that.
Girl, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't be all experimental. Seriously, you turn pro in a color, stay with that color for a while until you can, not. But let's see this check that was in third.
This is our third place, Heijin.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No, I don't know if I'm picking at it, but I'm looking at shoulders first, but then everything else flows very well.
No,
and I do think maybe she could. You think this front's really good? I will say, she's posing on the opposite side. I'm so used to people posing on the different side, but this side looks well for her.
No, wait, no. Okay. On this pose, I pose on the right foot. So never mind. Yeah, no, it looks good. Let me watch it one time before I give my full analysis. Let's see.
All right.
I need a little longer right there, just a tiny bit. Okay. 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 Her structure is nuts. She needs
I know, right?
a tiny bit more, like I'm talking like a little bit more time in the gym, like the smallest, you know what I mean? It's just like she needs a little bit more, like a little bit more fullness there, just a little more pop, mainly, not like size, but just density, tiny bit.
Like I think she has all the qualities. It's just a little bit more. I feel like that's what made her still stand out. Right. Like she came out confident. She came out like memorable. Like you're one of the first people up. You better you got to make yourself like really good. So.
Yeah, like I mean, see this shape we're seeing right here? It's so good. I want to see that those dimensions the entire time. So like you see what I'm talking about earlier when I mentioned like just get there instead of all this extra steps. Like she kind of showed us her waist, it's right there. So it kind of like broke down for a second as you're getting in your pose. Like you need to walk out in your front pose or in your shape. I kind of teach like a posture checklist that they stick with the whole time and don't change it. So walk out with that waist and taper showing, hit the front pose slowly, hold it. Then, even when you're going to the back and that little, I call it a half moon, but just that kind of transition. Yes, we want to be quick. It's not bikini, but you still need to stick it long enough for the photographer to get a photo and for those judges to go, that's it. Just keep going. So they're just kind of swoop, and it's just too fast. So I feel like it's probably a lot of the case of the nerves with all these girls for the first show of the year or inexperience, like time on stage. But look, you gotta go slow. Even though it's 10 seconds, I can literally demonstrate to you what 10 seconds really is like, and it is a long time. It is not a short time. I don't care what anyone says. It is plenty of time.
My thing was when they had so many athletes, when they they weren't given like.
No, I'm sure they were being like getting the hook.
It's like if they took too much time, they would have been like, if they have that time limit, someone has to say thank you, your name. I know this kind of sounds rude when have you had this in a show like thank you,
of course,
thank you, like because it's like
no, I've never had that one because I'm always like
when they had to say thank you, like when you heard the first thank you, it's like it's your sign to sign off, but here thank you, I'm like you're taking too much time. I'm like I was there in a show one time and that happened, and I'm just like get off, like I'm like get off. I'm not yelling at them, just like get off. Yeah, with too many athletes, you have to be mindful. With too many athletes. You don't get much time. You have to be mindful of that. You have to okay, get to the point. Look, if you take too much time, you do all this dancing stuff.
And what you're saying, I'm so with you. Like I always say, this is not a dance competition. This is a bodybuilding competition, y'all. This is not a posing competition either. So show them what you got, get off and get on. And I'm talking about like milliseconds.
But posing is how you present your physique. Yeah.
Here versus like.
But posing is how you present the physique.
Then then back. Instead of just, I'm just mean control. Like control your speed, like just control to like look like you're going slower. There's like a whole art to like here, then keep going instead of just rushing and looking a little nervous. It's just where that kind of wow factor comes in. But yeah, you got to be mindful of the time. Yeah, so that's what he's talking about.
Our second place girl.
I got excited as don't be flailing those arms around, ladies. There's no reason.
So our second place girl, when she was in the groups, she stood out. I'm like, I gotta look out for her. Like she looks really happy and confident to be on stage. And when she did her individual just now, I was like, I think she might be a winner, but well, she wound up taking second. So I'll get the comparisons with the athletes. So here we go.
Yeah, yeah,
This is Gabby.
yeah, yeah. I remember her. Okay, okay. Oh, I got some notes. She's got some great muscles and tissue. Good. Okay. 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 And I don't know if it's just me or this lighting, but I feel like everyone's makeup looks a little light. So I'm just gonna take that back for what I said earlier. I think it's just the brightness on their face. I'm not sure, or maybe they all have the same artist. But okay, her waist is insane. Go back to her front and just pause it when she hits it right there. There. Okay. Oh, I wish I could have had an arrow to draw on this screen right now. But like right here, so when she's back in her front pose, if whenever I was gonna say, can you go back to her front? Just like hold it. Yeah, there. Okay. So see how this is maybe nuts. It looks like she's real lower body dominant in this pose, and even when she kind of goes to her transition or S shot is what I call it, it kind of looks a little wellnessy for a second, like, and I have had this kind of back and forth with myself and other clients, but anyways, you can see how I always say where your belly button goes, where your toes go, your belly button goes, where your belly button goes is where your waist goes. So basically, her hips are facing us still a little bit too much right now, and she's like sitting into her like left hip instead of like putting all the weight on that left leg and like elongating the side of her body. She's kind of squishing down into like her like left butt cheek, I guess, to where it's like widening her lap. Does that make sense? Like her quads and her lap are
Yeah.
like widening here. So it looks like it's like everything looks wider than it needs to because in the lower body and looks asymmetrical almost. And I know the reason they still gave her second is because when you see her walking, it doesn't look like that. She's not really asymmetrical, but when she hits this pose, it is. And then the boobies are pretty heavy, so we got to keep everything like longer and like leaner. Like just when I say leaner, I don't mean like shreddier. I mean like just more streamlined. So taller, longer, pulling the hips and waist back and away. So she's just kind of making herself a little bit asymmetrical here, and that's just something I wanted to comment on because it just really stands out to me. And we look a little bit
I
hunchy, so just here a little bit more, So that's all. But the development is nice. So right here, we
I
just kind of sits
think
back.
her front was like way different than when they were compared in glutes. Like her front as for the individual was a little different. I mean, we'll see it,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Let's see it again. See,
I think
that's
that was much better.
almost.
See, like
Yeah, that was better.
it
Let's do that. Hit that.
that would look way better than what you initially saw. Like
And
this
that's what
right
they first
here.
saw, though. That's what they write down. Okay, that's a little bit better, but we're still doing some of what I'm talking about to where it looks kind of uncomfortable. She's
Yeah.
like fighting to
Like
like,
this shows her this shows Gabby so much better.
yeah, it
Like
does
this looks like model pose right here.
because she's tall and the waist is
Yeah.
tiny. The leg is longer. She doesn't look like lower body dominant and smush. Like you're right. So yeah, 100%. So it's just that's how much posing can change. Like whenever one of the first things I ask girls when they come to me and like if I like bring them on, I'll be like, okay, what was if they've competed before? I say, what was your last feedback? And usually it'll be like shoulders this, glutes that, or legs or whatever. And I'm like, it's probably not. It's literally probably just how they saw you. So let me try to. And then 9 times out of 10, or most of the time, I mean, all like every time almost, it's something that we can be mostly solved with posing for the most part. That is, you're right. That looks like she just barely even trying. You want to look like you're just standing there. That's the goal is to kind of walk out and look like you're just standing there. And she doesn't need to try as much because she's got everything. Stand up taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, those glutes
Yeah.
around.
She's 5'6", by the way. I've met her in person. Yeah. But from the back, like everything, like her waist going into like her shape, like it's really symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know, I mean, you'll see her. We'll see Emily's individual, but
Yeah.
I actually could pull up Emily's like a very very close up versus this live stream. But when I see her and Emily, you kind of could see a difference with them. But this is really good in the back. The suit cut, the hair,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I said, the
Nice.
live stream, their makeup looks so much better. Like,
And
but
the
I
pictures I
think
saw
it's
look
just
good. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I just think stage lighting can betray us all with the camera lens and stuff. It's not like anyone's fault. It's just sometimes
But
it
at
just
least they
looks
did a
better.
dark backdrop. At least I was so
Yeah.
happy they did
Okay,
a
that's
dark
nice.
backdrop.
Yes.
And there's no LED screen. It's just a big banner.
Yeah,
So
that's okay
okay, let's
with me.
go
That's what I grew up
to
with.
yeah.
And
Let me
I
go
hope anyone
pull
listening to
up
this, like, please don't think I'm ever
Emily.
picking your posing apart. I know my posing falls apart all the time when I
No,
first
like
start.
you have a qualified opinion. This is why I
No,
brought you
I'm
on. You have
just
a
saying, y'all don't
qualified
get your feelings
opinion. You
hurt.
have a there's a
You
difference
asked
with
me, I'll
like
tell you.
because you've been a pro for over 12, 13 years
I've been a
now.
pro for
I
this is
mean,
my
you've been
seventh season as a pro. I've been
but you've
competing
been
for 12.
competing for 12. Okay, okay. I said sorry if I said the wrong,
That's
but
all right.
like you like I said, you're more you have a qualified opinion, so you have a qualified saves in this.
It's
Let me
people still
find. I
like
think
getting
it's
their
on.
feelings hurt. No, it's like no. We're just wanting to help you guys. We all want you to do your best, of course.
Okay, Emily. Here we go. This is a really good close up. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. And I can go back to the and I can go back to live stream. This is like the closest, like really close up to the stage.
From the judge's viewpoint, what that front pose looked like. So I'll wait till we get to the live stream, I guess, because it's a little on from the side.
I do like her hair. I do like the
Make that.
suit. I'll say this: like last year, she just I think like presentation thing just needed to be fixed here and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
her hair is kind of like all over, but
Yeah.
she's beautiful. When you look at her, she's like she's confident in her posing. She really like does like practices. You could tell, like from the experience
It's
that
solid.
she's had, that it
Mm-hmm.
shows.
It does, and she doesn't look nervous at all. She looks smiling. She's been working on her facials. She's done this before in her dreams and her shower and everything else, girl. I know. Yeah. So yeah. Um, my only thing is I'm being nuts is I don't like those earrings. I'm sorry. They're too much. They're distracting. Like, let's just have some dangly because this is me being crazy. Like her face is so pretty. We don't need some big old things by your face. We just need to see your face, and it's so pretty. Like just
Yeah,
let them be a nice long little sparklers. Those are too big. That's just me. That's the only thing I'm being nuts because she's so
nice and
pretty. Like the
simple.
yes, like she's so pretty. Less is more. Um, let's get the live stream maybe if you want to pull up that angle. Yeah, that glue
Of
development
course, yeah.
and conditioning is great. Her tan is amazing too. I want to say
Right.
that. That's a nice, deep, rich color. Her skin looks pretty, so that's a really good. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's go here. So this will be pre-judging, and then we'll get to like the top four. So they did 10 in the first call out. 42. So there was a stage was small, so they had to call their numbers up because you're not going to fill 48 people in that small stage. Normally
Yeah.
normally this show would have at most, typically because it's at the beginning of the year, this show, people are preparing for the Arnolds as well. Most of the time, this show's going to have about 10, 20 at tops. But when you have 48, it's hard to fit them on either side. So it was good that they had them backstage and they called them and they did call outs and stuff. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And they had to put I was watching the men's physique and they kept moving up, and then Sandy's like, go back to the line, go back to the line. And so then after between men's physique prejudging, they put a line so that everyone's like on the X, on the X. There's only 10 guys, but they just kept moving up. The guy did a pose and he like hit him, and it's like spread out. Like they get too close and they get too up front. I'm like, I've been at okay. So instantly Emily gets moved in. Here's Jane, Myra. Moving Gabby in for Jane. So then they do the first. Should I pause? All right. From here, what stands out? Like I'm looking at Gabby, I'm looking at Emily first, and then I'm looking at Ariam right here. She's a former bikini Olympian. She took 3 years off. Yeah. Jane? I think that's what kind of got her outside the top five is like was that she was lower body versus upper body. She just needs I think she said she need more shoulders and more like just a little bit more development up top. But she's got a beautiful look. Gabby? Oh yeah, she took fourth, Myra. So then Hey Jean moves in. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you very well. This one? Who, this one? Which one are you talking about? This one? This one? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. But I think as they got better, they started moving them in, and I feel like they got better compared. But I feel like initially they're nervous at first. You know, they got first call like, "Hey, you're the top 10 out of 3/4 of the girls." So yeah, they said, "Okay, face the back," and they were kind of confused at first. Keep in mind the language barrier. You know, it was 17 girls from USA. I think like almost a third of them were from US. That's been the biggest US, like where people from the USA go outside. Like they've had people from USA go, but like never had this many, and never had this many. Yeah, like when they had the AGP and stuff with like Janet, Ashley, Angelica, and back then it was like maybe only 8, 15 girls at most. But then the fact that they're more US than other people, I mean, that's a first, and that's history right there. Yeah. Do you think some people did too soon though? Oh, we could discuss about that. Yeah, I can see that. All right. Yeah. But what I like the most is that they all had the right suit cut for the back. That's been an issue because I think hologram's the best one for this, honestly. Yeah, it reflects off the light very well. Yeah, yeah. Some are the line, some are not. Yeah. So when I'm looking at their back, I don't know if I'm like seeing like tightness, like almost like a tie-in for some of them. If I'm looking at the difference between Emily and Gabby, I feel like if she was just a little too tight. Yeah, that's okay. Let's get to top four. Maybe this is much better. See when it this was actually a pretty good. Let me go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Here we go. Here we go. Pause. Okay, zooming in. Here we go. This is like where I want to see it. So this front on the Gabby is really good right here. I wish it was matching what she did for individuals. I feel like that's maybe a thing that kind of like kind of got her docked. Um, you do kind of see a little like leanness here in her quads. This is so much improved from when she got her pro card at junior stays. At junior say she won her pro, she won the overall, but and at first I felt like she was just a little too lean. It's just her being a taller one, and I feel like the taller girls are going to have this advantage. Like a lot of detail could be shown, but you have to want to make sure you don't come in a little too lean. But when I look at Emily in her front, do you think she could fix this? I mean, she has a longer torso, but do you think this is like right, or do you she could maybe fix a bit of her front, or what do you have to say? Which one? Number two. Oh, Gabby. All right. Yeah. 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 This is all at prejudging. So I definitely think it's just finding that consistency, like how you do your front pose first time. It should be the same thing how you hit your front pose. It shouldn't look anything different. You know how you have your arm placement as well. It should be the same the whole time because they could go ahead. You can go ahead. Yeah, just a little bit out. That's what I think for her because it's almost like right here. If it's just a little bit right here, it shows her shape ups a little bit better. But she has a beautiful, but she's got a beautiful shape. She got a beautiful, like I think these top four, like great genetics for this division. I definitely think that it's going to play a role with your posing as well, and it just containing of you. But I will say this: maybe I'm being biased. I like Gabby a lot, but I can understand why Emily won because of how it wasn't, too lean, and it wasn't just a little too. I don't want to say Gabby was too big, but it just like how it was the posing, I think, and just coming in just a little bit too lean. That's it. But she honestly, I would not be upset if she won. But then again, it would. How would you affect going forward? It's just like she's going to learn from this show and go into her next show in the U.S. and definitely come back as someone as a contender to win. Hmm. Yes, that makes sense. Mm. If I was to, I know I'm not trying to pick at everybody too harshly. I'm not going to, but like I feel like she could just relax her elbow a little bit. I think she could just relax the elbow a little bit. It kind of felt like a what do you call that, teacup? Almost. It felt like that just slightly. I feel like if she just relaxed her elbows, it makes her it looks so much better. And maybe where she has her hand placement, she has her hand just on her hip. Everything is fixable. Everything that I see with posing here, it's fixable. it's kind of like we're seeing with you. You know, you're a posing coach. You're like fix it. Like okay. Yeah. I mean, I was happy for Hey Jean as well as Myra. You know, this is their pro debut. I know. Yeah. So I actually wanted to pull up. I mean, we did talk about our top five, so I think that's all. But the one Arium, I feel like this is built for her. I mean, in bikini, I feel like she just came in just a little too small. But you know, taking 3 years off and for coming from bikini, not being too over muscular, and then coming down to fit model, I think that's a stand.